Right, well, I was watching the Channel 7 Sunrise programme this morning, and credit to Channel 7 for this, Channel 7 Television Australia. It's just an interesting little snippet about an asteroid. I hope they don't mind me sharing with you. That apparently is an asteroid coming our way, and it's going to be here the day before the American election. And they think there's a chance it may hit the planet. So what I hear you cry, you can go down to the chemist and get ointment for asteroids, you know, I mean, how bad could it actually be? Well, let's see what they've got to say about it, shall we? Now, I've got this on the big screen, which means I recorded this on off the TV onto a hard drive, so there is a slight delay on the between me pressing the button on the remote control and anything happening, and I can't be bothered to edit that delay out, so apologies for that.
Well, without wanting to sound cliche, this really is like sorry. Happy with that? Without wanting to sound cliche, this really is something from a Hollywood movie script. On the day before the US presidential election, Earth is on a collision course with an asteroid, I kid you not.
Now, the projections at the moment are for a narrow miss, but astrophysicists can't be 100% sure and are watching it very closely, updating their calculations all the time. Let's bring in our favourite astrophysicist, Dr. Brad Tucker from the Australian National University. Welcome to you, Brad. Okay, just hit us with the stats right now as they stand. Is this going to hit Earth?
That's right. So, you know, it's always interesting to talk about these things because right now it's sitting at it's about a 1 in 200 chance. So kind of just slightly less than 0.5%. So still kind of high in astronomical terms. And one of the reasons is we don't have enough data to really constrain its orbit. So it could hit the Earth, it could sail harmlessly by. So right now it's sitting at that, 0.5% chance, which is something you still want to monitor, even though if it's 0.5%, because you don't want it to hit the Earth.
Yeah, you still want to monitor it because you don't want it to hit the Earth. But that sort of sounds like do something about it. I mean, if you monitor it and it's going to hit the Earth, your math says it's going to hit the Earth, and it's going to hit the Earth, isn't it? So yeah, that's an interesting comment. Where's the button?
How big is it, Brad? And if it does come crashing through the atmosphere, where and when will it hit?
So this one is actually relatively small. It's only about 2 meters wide. So if people remember back in Chelyabinsk in Russia in 2013, one about 20 meters wide hit the Earth. Now, when that hit the Earth, it released about 20 to 30 times the energy of the Hiroshima bomb. So
Okay, so the one that's coming is 2 meters wide. The one that caused all the damage in Russia a few years back was 20 meters wide. Okay, so it's 10 times the width. Now, we don't know what the length is, we don't know what the mass is, but if the one that was 10 times the size, the width of the one that was coming, caused 20 times, had the explosive power of 20 times the Hiroshima bomb, doesn't that mean the one that's coming is going to have the explosive power of twice of the explosive power of the Hiroshima bomb, or is it just getting late? I can't think straight, maybe. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't want this coming down in my back garden or on my house, especially as I've replaced all that wood that's been eaten by the bloody termites. Okay, let's continue.
Can release a lot of energy. Now, this is a lot smaller, so release a lot less energy.
Yeah, but he doesn't say how much energy it's likely to release. It's gonna it's gonna release a lot less energy. But how much energy are we talking about here?
And we don't really know where it's going to hit. Again, because we just have so little data on it, it could hit anywhere on the Earth, and that's one of the problems. We don't have that good predictions we can make it. Hopefully in September, at the end of September, we'll get some more data to constrain that. But right now, as you said,
yeah, I find that hard to believe, to be perfectly honest. It's not a very big rock. If it's only 2 meters across and they're tracking it, I would think they've got mathematical predictions that they just don't want to make public. If it does actually hit the planet, I think they know exactly where it will hit.
It's definitely one that we will watch when it's bright enough to do some more observations.
About the size of a fridge?
So it's about the size of a fridge.
Yeah, okay. Was that one too many beeps? Hang on. Okay.
That's right. It's so when it hits the Earth, the problem is they essentially explode in the air. If it's traveling that fast, it's traveling about 85,000 kilometers an hour. That's a big fridge hitting the Earth.
It's a fridge hurtling towards the Earth at 85 clicks an hour. 1,000 clicks an hour.
So then how much damage can a...
Well, the speed obviously doesn't affect the size of the fridge. But that's a big fridge. Yeah, but a two meter across asteroid travelling at 85,000 kilometres an hour is, yeah, okay. We don't know how long it is. We don't know what the mass is, but there's going to be an awful lot of energy in that, you would think.
Fridge too, if it's hit at that kind of speed. I'm just thinking if this hits, you know, a suburban street or something.
Yep.
What's the ricochet effect of that?
That's right.
Or even the blast radius.
So, you know, what these do is these explode when they hit the Earth. So what we worry about is that mid-air explosion. They essentially shatter. They essentially do a belly flop, right? They hit the Earth's atmosphere and smack, and then they break up. So we don't worry about this stuff raining down on an area. We worry about that explosion, that bomb, so to speak, going off over it. Now, luckily, because most of the Earth is uninhabited, that chance is less likely. The more likely outcome is if it does hit the Earth, we'll get a really great light show, which could be great for the fireworks that will happen the day after on the actual U.S. election. But it's definitely something we want to make sure doesn't happen over a metropolitan area.
Brother?
Yeah, but how can you make sure it doesn't happen over a metropolitan area? I mean, how can they make sure it doesn't happen over a metropolitan area? That sort of suggests they can do something about it, doesn't it? I think that's just as poor English, being an American. Sorry, guys, but... And the fact that he's not speculating about where it might hit the planet if it actually does suggests to me that their calculations are telling them that it probably will be over a populated area, because if it was going to come down in the Pacific or the Atlantic, he would say, well, we reckon that it's going to come down somewhere in the Pacific, it's going to come down somewhere in the Atlantic. But because he's being a bit cagey about it, I reckon they've done the math, and they think it is going to impact. If it impacts at all, it will be on a populated area. So anyway, maybe that's just me being a bit cynical, but that's the impression I get.
Just don't want you walking away from this program feeling like we've dumbed you down as an astrophysicist. Are we oversimplifying it by using terms like
the fridge?
Like the fridge, the belly flop? I mean, do you feel like we haven't been quite cerebral enough?
No, look, I think we need to put it into real terms, right? I think, what's 2 meters, right? So that's like a big person. We could say a basketball player. We're going to be shooting, Michael Jordan at the Earth.
Which I think is more offensive,
maybe that's not the same scale, I don't know.
Fridge.
Yes, if Michael Jordan had a mass of about 40 tons, yeah, maybe. But yeah, they're sort of keeping away from what they think the mass of this thing might be, aren't they?
This is one of those rare times I'm in your corner, honey.
Brad Tucker, thank you. Presumably we can't do anything about it, even if it is heading towards us.
At this point, no. The best thing is to get more observations and monitor it so we can actually make that accurate prediction what's going to happen to it. But NASA are working on plans to deflect the big ones if and when that time comes.
Fascinating. Thank you very much, Brad. We always enjoy your thoughts on this show.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't look like we're going to need Billy Bob to give anyone a buffalo nickel to calm down. It looks like it's not a planet killer. If it does hit a built-up area, I just hope it's not your one. It won't kill the planet, but it could potentially. I mean, the impression I'm getting from this is that this could be reasonably significant. I mean, if something 10 times the size released 20 or 30 times the energy that was released in the Hiroshima explosion, then, and this thing's a tenth of the size, then it's going to be, you think it might be a tenth of that energy, wouldn't you? So that will be 2 to 3 times the amount of energy that was released in the Hiroshima explosion. Well, I wouldn't want it anywhere near me, put it that way. All right. Well, anyway, that's just an interesting cheery snippet. I thought I'd share with you, and apologies for all the beeping and the delays there, but this is not on the computer, this is on the big screen. And give you an idea how big the big screen is. There's a little preview screen there. That's a 26-inch television, that one. So and because this is on a hard drive recorded from off-air television, then I press the button and you can hear it beep, and then it just takes there's a little bit of a delay in there until the thing actually starts. So apologies for that. I can't be bothered to edit it out. Hope you found that interesting. As always, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll catch you again.